Hey everyone, it's just Jumbie here. Today I've created a smelt enchantment that gives you the smelted version of any block you mine. So in my hotbar I have a pickaxe, a shovel, and an axe, all with smelt 1 on them. And this enchantment works on iron, gold, cobblestone, netherrack, sand, clay, all types of wood, as well as cactus. Now, before we look at the system that runs this all, there's a few objectives that we're using. So the first one is Smelt, and basically this keeps track of whether the player is holding an item enchanted with Smelt or not. And then we also have ID, and this is basically going to be used to mark the items that are dropped from the different blocks, and then the rest of the objectives are just checking for when we mine that specific block. And here's the entire system. So right now it's turned off, because otherwise there'd be a bunch of redstone blocks on top here. So the first part here is a fill command. This just fills it with stone, with redstone, and that activates 20 times a second. And it's going to activate it with this row first, then the next one, then the next one. So everything is in good order. Now the first command here is going to set all players to a smelt score of 0. And then after this, the next 9 command blocks are basically testing if the player has any item with the lore smelt 1 on that item in any of the 9 slots of the hotbar, and that slot is currently selected. So this one tests for the first slot, this one tests for the second slot, and so on. Now the next 3 rows are handling the block drops. So right here, this is executing at anyone with a smelt score of at least 1, which means they are holding a smelt enchanted item, and also an iron score with a minimum of 1, which means that they mined an iron block, and it's going to set any item with an age of 0, which means it just spawned, and that item type is iron ore. It's going to give that an ID of 1. And then this next command block here is going to execute at that iron ore block with the ID of 1. It's going to summon a new item relative to that, which is an iron ingot, with a bit of motion too, so it appears to pop up. So that's the smelted block drop now. And then finally, this is just to reset the player's score for iron. And we have a whole bunch more down here, and that's just repeating it for the different block types. We also have 2 command blocks over here, and these are basically to reset the system. So this is just going to kill any entity with an ID score of a minimum of 1, which was the original block drop, which we don't want anymore. And then this one is just going to reset the objective of ID. This system works anywhere in the world, and it should work in multiplayer. However, I haven't really tested it. But it also works extremely fast. So you'll see I have an efficiency 5 on this pickaxe now, and I have haste 2. But even with all that, it's going to be able to convert all the drop netherrack into nether brick without any problem. But that's about all for today. If you want to check out the system for yourself, there will be a world download in the description. Other than that, I will see you later.